Okay, so where we stopped in the previous demonstration was, okay, what can you find in the platform and how can you access it? But now I would like to go a bit more into the technicalities of the platform and show you what to actually do once you are there. So you can go and take a look at different use cases and run some simulations, and then after a while you will get your results back and you will be able to explore them and see what is happening there. But what if you would, for example, like to create your own use case? What if you would like to reuse parts of the currently existing services that are inside? For example, you take app1 simulation machine learning model and you train it on your own data sets. How would you go about that, and how platform allows you to do that? So how would you be able to reuse what already exists and is shared by the community, and how would you be able to add your own contributions on top of it? It all starts with sharing what you would like to do. So what is your challenge, or what is your idea? What would you like to carry out uh, and make a project out of? And it's very simple to start talking to the community, because you just go to the platform. Once you're logged in, you will have this plus button just next to idea, and clicking on it, it will open the idea form that you populate. You be as expressive as possible to let the community know what your idea or challenge is about. What do you need help with? How do you see this become a reality? And everything else that you think is important. I will not create one now, but I will show you what already exists. For example, there is a idea shared by Federico, the colleague of ours from Smolmatech, who is working in a company that deals with chemicals. So he is focusing on app one, and he was testing a lot of app one. So let's see what Federico created over here. So basically, it's a idea where he says, oh, he would like to work on the transformation of organic corrosion inhibitors into anti-corrosive pigments. And he shared his description, what he would like to do, and then people from the community commented back and say, okay, this is an interesting idea, I would like to work with you on that. And once you have the feedback of the community, you will be able to actually start a project proposal. And by clicking this drop down menu, you will be able to see what project proposals were created out of it. If none is currently created, you would be able to create one from it. So by clicking on going to the project proposal, you go into the area of the platform where this idea is extended a bit more in the direction of what user expertise would you need. So what is important? Are there any files that you would like to share with the users, or the users who are part of your current partnership would like to share with you? So you are able to do all of this over here. So we see that currently Federico is looking, or when at the time where this project was being started, Federico was looking for people who have particular user skill set. So he was looking for metal coating, for experts in metal coating technologies, somebody who knows how to prepare samples for testing, and somebody who knows about different corrosion types. And this is kind of similar, because you remember when I was telling you about your user profile, you were able to go and take a look what is what user skills you want to add to the particular to your user profile. And this is the same here. And then when you are doing this matchmaking and looking for particular users who have these skills, you have some functionalities from platform to help you with that. Once this project proposal is not complete, but once you have it, you will be able to go to the partnership that is associated for it. The same logic as before. If you don't have a partnership created from this project proposal, you will be able to create one. Then this button would say create a partnership. So going to the project proposal, you see now who is currently the member of this particular partnership. So you see a lot of, well, not a lot, but some people have joined efforts to go and realize this idea into something useful, something that would actually have a benefit for all of them together, but also for the community. And you see some information here that all the skills were satisfied by the skill set of the user. For now, this page is quite limited because I'm not the actual author of it, so I'm not able to invite particular people to it. But if I was the author, and I will show you later how this looks like, I will be able to go and explore the community and see which people would be able to contribute to my project, and then I will be able to invite them to the partnership. Okay, so to do that, let me just jump into a partnership where I am the author of. So let's jump back to the home page and then just find a partnership where I am the author. And before doing that, just to mention, if you are not the author of the partnership and you are not currently the part of the group, you will be able to, or let me show you, let me leave this group. So I can leave this group by just clicking the delete button on top. So what will happen now is I will have this additional button over here where I can request membership in this team. So you will also be able to do that. So you'll be able to go through the current project proposal definitions and partnership definitions. And if you see something interesting that you would like to be a part of, you will be able to click on this button and then request the partnership, request the participation in this partnership as one of the participants of the quadruple helix. So these are the 4 pillars. So you will be able to say, I would like to join this partnership as academic and industrial partner. Once I click on join, now my request is pending. Request was sent to the author's profile, and now they currently have one notification saying VIPCOAT user would like to join your partnership, and one collaboration request where they can either request or reject. Once they accept or reject, you will get back the notification saying, oh, they have refused to collaborate with you, or they have accepted to collaborate with you. Okay, now let's jump into a partnership where I'm actually the author. So here you straight away see that I have more functionalities over here. So instead of just being able to take a look who is the member of my current partnership, I am able to also invite people to the team. So for example, if I just go to this find members by skill, this is where this matchmaking comes into play. So yes, I am looking for people who know how to program. I am currently interested in somebody who knows how to do things in Python and how to do things in JavaScript. And what can I do? I can just ask the platform, are there any users in the platform who know how to do that? So now the platform is going in the user database and takes a look at the user's skill set and gives me back information about who knows how to do something similar to JavaScript. So, and then you will get back the results. I will see a list of users. So for example, VIPCOAT has a skill JavaScript, and this skill they are fulfilling with similarity of 100%. What this means is if I go to my user profile, I will find this skill inside. But if I have something else, some different skill that is closely related to programming in JavaScript, but is not exactly JavaScript, the VIPCOAT platform will still give you answers. It will tell you, oh, there is also another skill, which is Python programming. And when I'm comparing it to JavaScript, I get a similarity of 87% back. There are some other skills. For example, Thomas has a skill called Operate Open Source Software, which is still related to programming, it's not as much related to JavaScript as Python, and you get back a lower percentage over here. It says 24%. Natalia has skill scientific modeling, which is fulfilled by 35%. And how this percentage is calculated is quite technical, but still not very complex to understand. So there is there is an ontology of skills that we are using. It's called ESCO. So if you just go to and search for ESCO in the Google, you will be able to find this ESCO from the European Union. And what they are doing is they are defining skills, general skills that usually companies who are working in human resources are doing. And you will be able to go there and take a look at the skills. And they're making this graph of skills where different skills are connected. We are taking the same ontologies, and we are doing this skill matchmaking based on it. And when you are doing this type of similarity check, what you really do is you take a look in this graph where Python lives and where JavaScript lives, and then based on their relative position in this graph, you can compute how similar are they. in the most in the simplest terms, if these two skills are far away in this graph, you will get low similarity. If these two skills are closer in the graph, you will get higher similarity. And this is basically how this works. There are different ways of how do you do this semantic similarity computation. There are more complex procedures. There are simpler procedure. The one we are using is called Wu and Palmer for interested people who would like to see, who would like to learn more about it. Yes, so that's one way how this how this matchmaking works. And for example, I would be able to extend this list over here that who am I looking for to work with me on the project by updating my proposal, my project proposal. So by clicking on this proposal, where I have my demo proposal, I'm able to go here and say, okay, besides programming in Python and JavaScript, I need somebody who, I don't know, knows how to prepare some meals. And if I just go and do something which is not related to something that I have over here, for example, cooking, I will be able to find somebody who knows how to do something, for example, these compiled cooking recipes. Once I add it to the platform, to my required expertise in this partnership, you see that now things are being refreshed. And what is this refreshing is first my list of skills that I am able to look for in my partnership page, but also refreshing of these satisfied skills. So now not all of my skills are satisfied anymore because I'm looking for somebody who knows how to cook, but I don't have anybody in here who knows how to do it. So maybe they know how to cook, but they have not put their skill inside of their user profile. And if I go back here, I will see now that I have another thing over here. So somebody who knows how to compile cooking recipes. If I click on find a user, I will find that after a while when this loads, that, okay, there are no users with similar skills. So what can I do about it? Basically, not much, but other people can do something about it. So if I show you now, if I open just another profile, so let me just log into the platform again, but with another user. So if I just log in from my personal account, I will be able to update my user profile. And if I go over here and say, in my profile, I want to do something with I don't know, something with cooking recipes that this other platform needed. Let's say, let me put produce new recipes and create new recipes as my skills, or let me try also something like cooking recipes. I will be able to populate my skill set with these particular skills. And what will happen in this time, once I update my profile, you will see that going back to this and restarting this compile cooking recipes, now what I expect is I expect to see Marko over here who knows how to cook. And then I will be able to invite this person into my partnership. Yes, you see now that Marko Horvat has 3 skills that correspond to these compiled cooking recipes. If the skill is the same, I get 100%. But if it's something similar, like compiling cooking recipes and creating new recipes, I get very high similarity. So I know that this user can help me satisfy this requirement in my particular project once we start the project. And I can request the collaboration. So let's invite this particular user as academic and industrial user. Once I click add, now the user is currently pending because you will be able to see this user in your user list in your but it's grayed out. This means that it's currently pending and this user has to accept or decline my collaboration request. Now going back to my other user over here, I will see something. So I see that, okay, sorry for that. I see that I have one notification over here. If I click on it, it will tell me that somebody from a partnership demonstration partnership, this is the name of the partnership, wants to invite you to the partnership as academic and industrial partner. That's great, and I would like to join this partnership. So at this point, I just have to go here and accept. So in this collaboration request, you will be able to accept. Once I accept it, it will take a while until I am put in the partnership, and this is mainly because this satisfied skills now have to be again refreshed because I am joining this partnership as a person with skills that are new to this partnership. So this particular satisfied skill have to be refreshed. And once this is done, I will again be able to, I have reached again 100% of satisfied skilled in my user partnership just by adding this user who knows how to compile cooking recipes. There are easier and more complex ways of how to add users to the partnership. The easiest one is, okay, I just want to add, I know that there's a person who knows how to do something that I need, and I will just add them to the partnership. Let's look for a user. I don't know, let's take a look if there is any user called Peter, and I'm able to add Peter to the partnership. But all of the Peters are already inside of my partnership, so I'm not able to do that. Let me do something else. Let's search for users who have A in their name. So I will be able to go now and take a look all of the users who exist in the partnership, who I am able to invite to join me in this quest of turning this project proposal and the partnership definition into a project. So let's say I would like to add Thomas. I just click on this add user and academic user add, and at this point Thomas should be grayed out at the bottom, pending where the collaboration is pending. Okay, so as a author, furthermore, you have opportunity to kick people out of your partnership. So if you would not like to continue their collaboration, you can just come here and kick Marko out of the partnership. At this point, this should be refreshed again because Marko was an integral part of my particular partnership. He knew how to cook, but now I don't have anybody else who knows how to cook. But this is, again, a stupid demonstration, so let's remove compiling cooking recipes out of my skills. And with this, I will be able to, again, have 100% of the satisfied skills because now nobody needs to know how to cook in this particular project. Okay, so this is how you can go about creating a partnership in a very basic level. But there is another way of how to do it, and this way is by building your own functionality. So you are able to, if you are a partnership and you have a particular skill set, you have particular requirements on how do you add people to the partnership. Maybe you have to carry out an interview before you do that. Maybe you would like to have some back and forth with the user and go into this negotiation process where you are asking people, okay, how would you actually contribute to my partnership? How would you what would your tasks be, and things like that? What would be your compensation in the end? And you can do this by going to this collaborate workflow. And what you can do here is you can actually build a workflow similar like we did in the our colleagues showed you in different apps landing page. You can also create different workflows which have different functionalities, but are still kind of doing the same thing. They are executing functionality that you would like to see in the platform. So how do you go about it? It's quite simple. You just have to create new workflow. So clicking on this create new workflow, you are being redirected to a canvas where you are able to go and build workflows. So we have done a couple of interesting features that are allowing you to build these workflows in a simpler way. So first, before starting, I would like to mention just that we are using BPMN standard, which stands for Business BP Processing and Modeling Notation. And this is basically a standard that defines how these workflows should be built. So if I just say something like my example over here, I have to choose a workflow which is unique because this is how the platform will know that this reference refers to your actual workflow, and then I can go and build it. So every workflow starts with a start event. If you just hover over this icon, you will see that this is a start event. So this is where my workflow will start. And if I hover over this will be my end event. So this is where my workflow will end. And now I have to populate things in between with services that would be in between. So first, what I would like to do is I would like to add some user tasks. So something where user would be able to go and communicate with the workflow and exchange information. So if I just click on this add user task, I am presented by a library of currently available user tasks in the platform. So by clicking on this select, it automatically puts inside of my canvas a task that is fully defined and works, and it has been tested. So by doing that, I'm able now to connect these particular things inside of my canvas. So by clicking on the first element and the second element, I'm able to connect by clicking on this arrow over here. So this is how my workflow currently looks like, and how the execution of this workflow would go is the following. So you would start over here, and the first task is where somebody has to come and say something about the partnership. And the information that this particular user task would require is, what user ID would you like to add to your current partnership? What is the partnership ID that we are talking about? And who is the author of the partnership? Quite straightforward. So the next thing, which is quite logical, I would like to send some message to the user that I would like to add to the partnership. So how do I do that? Let's go back to the user task and see, is there something that is similar to that? So here it says, I would like to write a proposal to a user. That sounds good enough. Let's do that. And this is another user task where a user would, somebody would have to come inside and create a message that would be sent to a user, and you connect. And step by step, you start building your workflow. So I would now need a service that takes this message and automatically sends it to a user. I don't want to do this manually. So what I will do is I will click on my worker and I will go and search for something that is send. Why is this not working? Okay, send notification to user. This is what I need. So I will be able to go here and just send a notification to user. What I'm interested here in is the service, not really the user task where I am defining all of the information that is needed. I will just take the send notification to user. So what happens here is, after I'm finishing these two tasks, I have another task where I'm sending notification to user. And finally, I need another user task where a user would accept or decline, or okay, accept or deny by user. Let's do that, because now what happens is the user is receiving my message, but this user will now also have to accept or deny. If they decline, this is pretty much the same thing as we were doing before with the platform. You are able to decline or not, or accept based on your wishes on what this project really is about. So there are two outcomes out of this. And you can do this by this. This is kind of like a conditional statement where you can branch your graph out of it. So let's say let's put the default flow. So this default flow will be when user declines. I would just like to finish my workflow. But if I don't decline, if this user accepts, I would like to add this user to the partnership. And how do you do that? You go back here and you find service which is called add user to a partnership. And what I'm interested here is only about this. And I would like to finish. Before ending, I just have to say that based on this variable that is going to be created, accepted, so this is what user is going to be sending to the platform, I will, based on this result, I will either go down this route or will just finish without doing it. And this is, you click on this arrow over here and you will get access to modifying the condition, and here you will be able to say, I would like to write an expression and just I don't know why my keyboard doesn't work. You would have to write accepted as a condition over here. Once you're ready with that, you will be able to just store the workflow by clicking on this store button over here. And what this is going to do is you will have this new example over here ready to be executed. I already have a workflow here, which is pretty much the same thing that I was just showing. Because what now needs to happen is you would need to request the deployment of this workflow. You would do this by clicking on an action and requesting the deployment. And once the deployment would be ready, let me just show you. Now, when you click on request deployment, the workflow is waiting to be deployed. But once it is deployed, you will first get a notification that your workflow was deployed. And second, you will be able to click on the action and actually start the workflow. And how this game would be played is basically you start a workflow, and this is now, you start the workflow from this template that you have currently created. And what is going to happen is another instance of this workflow execution will put down just underneath your last currently completed or in progress execution. So clicking on start, I get another one over here, and then I just go to the action and I'm able to resume the workflow. And what the resuming of the workflow is doing, so based on how I was creating my workflow, I automatically get presented by a form, because the platform knows what these particular services need, and the platform will present me with particular forms that I need to execute in order to add this user to the partnership. And then you will be able to go about it like, okay, I want to go into my partnership. I'm interested in adding. I'm able to get my ID of the partnership, for example, here by clicking on this button. This is adding my ID to the clipboard. Going here, I can then copy this over here by just doing it by just copying what I have in my clipboard. Going back here, I'm able to find my member that I would like to add. For example, somebody. Let's cut this out. Let's do something that I was doing before. Let's find somebody. Let's say somebody who is not a part. Let's say Vinay. I click on it. I will be redirected to their public user profile. Vinay is not sharing a lot of information, but it's enough because I can fetch their user ID. I'm able to go back here, go here, paste it, and then finally I need the author ID. So I need to find out who is the author, and in this case it's me, so I'm able to go to my user page and I'm able to copy my clipboard. And doing this, oh sorry, wrong tab, I'm able to finalize my first task. By completing it, I will be redirected to the second task. So now the first one was executed, and now I have to do the second task. So the second task, if you remember when we were building the workflow, we had to add a message inside. So let me just paste what I have in clipboard because my keyboard doesn't work. So the message that I will be sent to a user will be here, but you will write something like, please join my partnership. I would like to collaborate with you. Once I do that, the next step is, if you go back to the definition of this workflow, is sending notification to a user. So now this service will automatically execute and it will send the notification to Vinay. And now what would need to happen is Vinay would need to accept or decline this would need to accept or decline this particular invitation, and then based on that, Vinay would be added or not added into the partnership. So this is basically how would you go about creating a workflow and executing a workflow. What I would like to stress here is that workflows are quite flexible. So it's not only something related to simulations or something related to coding, to coding industry and simulation tools we have there. But you will be able to do you will be able to implement whatever functionality you want into the platform by utilizing this functionality. So you will be able to say, okay, what happens when my simulation finishes? So at this point, you will be able to say, I will automatically trigger a workflow which does my post-processing. And this becomes a quite powerful and quite flexible tool where users can actually go to their project and create this type of functionalities for their own use cases. And okay, let's go to the project and let's see how would you do that there. So clicking on this go to project button, it will drag you to the project which was already started for this partnership. Again, the same logic as before. If you don't have a project, you would have to first create it, but you will be presented by this type of form, by this type of page where you can then go and play around with whatever is there. So you have some general information about the work about this project. So where are my code repositories? What is my social media links, and what is there? Are there any particular events that are scheduled here that I would like to participate at? There is a project data catalog, so this should kind of be self-explanatory by now what this is. So it's again a data catalog that is only visible to the members of this particular partnership. Inside you will have the results of the simulations that you need, or some experimental data that you would like to use in your simulation tools. Then you would have something like project files. This is again very similar as the one instance that you had inside of your user page, where you are able to just store files that are particularly important for this project. You would have things called workflows. Now this should also already be kind of self-explanatory, because these are my workflows that I would like to execute to start building my new use cases. Before explaining this a bit further, I would like to just show you or stress one thing inside of the landing pages of the apps. So any app that you go to will always revolve around. So I will be able to just click on whatever chemical I would like to have here. I would click on search, and now the services are called. So the services that we have already inside of the platform are being called. So Lisa showed you what information are you getting back, but she didn't mention that behind each of these, for example, toxic dosages, for example, there are no information for this particular chemical, but a service was called, the service that has connection to chemical database, and there it will go inside and it will take this LD and CD 50s, so little dosages and little concentrations, and based on these results, it will give you what is the particular toxic category of this chemical. The same here, right? Or the same here, it will send a request to the service that is fetching your chemical vendors, and it will be able to then compile a list of chemical vendors that you need over here. And these services are available to everybody. So where do they live? They live in the worker catalog. So if you go to worker catalogs, you will be able to just click and explore what services currently exist. So for example, running app 1. So this service exists, and this is the service that is called from the landing pages of the use cases. Then you have something to train app 1. So this is even better, because now besides running app 1, I can actually train my app 1 before I run. So if I don't like to use the pre-trained model that Lisa created, and I think I have better data and I can do the training better, I can actually create my artificial intelligence model here and then use it over there. And you will be able to kind of scroll through it and see, for example, the service that computes toxicity category. It's already here. And what is cool about it, you can always just click on that add worker into your workflow when you are building it, and you can just fetch this one out, because this already exists and it has a script, Python script in this case, behind it, which will be executed when this particular service is being fetched. Okay, so services run behind the workers that are then the core of my use case. And now going back to my project, which we left before, I see that I have a couple of interesting workflows over here. So first, split app 1. What this one does is it's a workflow. Again, it's a very simple workflow where I don't want to just run app 1 as it's done in app 1 landing page, but I would like to train my own artificial intelligence model. So I would start this one. I would say, here is where you can fetch the training data. Here is the build target. This is something that Lisa introduced in her presentation. And then my model would be trained. What this says over here, I will store this in the data catalog, my artificial intelligence model that I will be able to use later. So storing model with a particular URI in the data catalog once it's trained. And going to the data catalog, you will be able to see that I have some artificial intelligence models that I've built, right? And these are not the pre-trained Lisa's model. This is actually my model, which I trained using the service of training the artificial intelligence model. So going here, I see that I have some, again, some files that are associated to this data catalog model, and I can fetch it by copying ID over here. So why do I need to fetch it? Because what I would like to do is I would like to run this next workflow over here. So what this is an extension of app 1 even further. It's a bit more complex workflow where you, before running app 1, you say, okay, but I don't know which chemical to actually use. I would need something that I would like to see if it's a good inhibitor, but I would like to give you a chemical and you fetch me all the similar chemicals that you can find with similar structure. The idea being my similar chemicals will be good inhibitors. because the structure of my current inhibitor is great. And then you can explore this space of similar chemicals by saying, okay, I will fetch my similar chemicals, then I will provide which F1 artificial intelligence model I want to use, the one I just built in the previous workflow, and then I would like to run a loop around F1 where I just execute F1 on all the similar chemicals list that I've fetched out of it. So how would this work? Again, you go to similar chemicals, you click on start. At the bottom, you get your latest execution. This is called similar chemicals. You resume it. Okay, let's take a chemical from previous execution. I can copy it out of here. So mercaptobenzothiazole. I will go into my execution. I copy it over here. Mercaptobenzothiazole. Then I need another information just about the limit. Let me fetch this as well. Limit. Let's copy it from here. Let's go back here. I copy my limit, and now what is going to happen is I will fetch my similar chemicals. And how can you see what is going on? You can click on logs, right, and see what is going on. So we started a workflow, we executed the first task, now we get back the list of similar chemicals. And these are the chemicals that are similar to mercaptobenzothiazole. You get it over here. And now the second step is I need to actually fetch my artificial intelligence model. So project data catalog, my artificial intelligence model, copy it to clipboard, and then I can go back over here, and resume my workflow. So model URL, I just paste what the ID of my thing is inside, and we'll target this again. I can IP, for example, or IE. Let's copy it from here, and this will now start executing my my loop, and I will see, okay, I carried out now 2 F1 simulations, 94% inhibition efficiency for the first chemical, quite good, 47% there, and now the loop is running until all my list is exhausted. And later I will be able to just go through it and see the results, right? I have mercaptobenzothiazole. This was my chemical. So 2 mercaptobenzothiazole is a similar chemical, and this has a pretty good efficiency. And then I just scroll through it and I find a chemical which I am the most happy with, and then I continue with this one as my inhibitor. Okay, I think that we are running kinda out of time, but I hope that this now showed you how the platform actually allows you to take what already exists in the platform, extend it, build your own workflows, execute those workflows, and create your new use case by either creating new things or by using what already exists in the platform, but just rearranging it in the workflow in a different way.